Everything you need to know and more about heating and cooling, electrical, garage doors, and plumbing is right here, right now, on the Absolute Home Service Podcast.
So go ahead, you can join us today for the Absolute Home Services Podcast. I'm Vince Hauser, along with my co-host James McCarter. James, what are we discussing today?
Today looks like we're going to be giving our homeowners some information about roofing and remodeling. In fact, I got my words here this morning. It's still a little early for me. But we've got Scott Waldman from R&B Roofing and Remodeling joining us today.
All right. Well, thanks, James. Let's see, Scott. Thanks for joining us. And why don't you give a little brief introduction about who you are and who you represent and how you got in the business?
Sure. Thanks for having me this morning. And R&B Roofing, for those and Remodeling, for those who don't know who we are the largest regional provider of roofing and remodeling in Kentuckiana, both residential and commercial. Unique features about our organization is the majority of everybody who works for R&B is an employee of R&B and part of our team. We don't use very few subcontractors except for specialty products and things of that nature. We are very big in the remodeling space as well as the roofing space. We're a company, we're the only diamond installer of the Atlas product suites. We brought those into Kentuckiana. That's the only product that is 100% Scotch guarded and will never stain or streak. And we're able to give a 50-year warranty on all roofing products.
So Atlas is a roofing.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. I did not even know. Did you know that, James?
I didn't.
All right. And we just talked roofing last week.
Yeah, this is why we've got Scott in here. He's the professional in these areas, so we're trying to get a little bit of information and be educated on these certain areas that we know nothing about.
So how long has R&B been around?
We've been around 10 years in the marketplace. And,
okay.
Just recently, we've really come onto the screen. We were very large in the marketplace, but we decided that we wanted to be the go-to provider of everybody in the services that we offer. Mm-hmm. And we've done some extensive advertising and really gotten some good public support to achieve that goal.
Outstanding. Did you start at strictly roofing, or were you remodel, and then went to roofing, or how did that process work out?
That's an interesting question. You know, it's kind of... we started in the roofing business, and then one day one of our customers said, "Hey, do you guys do gutters?" And we said, "Yeah, we do gutters." And then it kind of went from gutters, "Do you do siding?" "Yeah, we do siding." And so then we went into the windows, and then people would ask us, because we did such a great job on the exterior of the home, they would say, "Man, I wish we knew somebody that could do kitchens." And so we got into the kitchen remodeling business and became a one vendor, one source type of deal for our customers, and it's really paid off well.
Outstanding.
Just one of those things you kind of jump feet first into. I couldn't tell you how many times I've done that. It's like, "Hey, James, do you do this?" "Absolutely. Let's figure it out together." And then next thing you know, it's something that you're doing, full time or really providing a solid service with.
Sometimes my wife would prefer that I not be tempted anymore on starting up any more ventures. So
we know she appreciates it.
Mine and yours must be in the same group, because I can tell you.
We found them all in the same place.
All right.
Well, so as far as like on the remodeling side, so going out, I see it does not look like business is actually slowing down at all over the past years. As far as like remodeling projects and go, I mean, is that something that you agree with?
Yeah, if you look at our last year, 2020, I know that it was a very trying time for a lot of people, but for us in the remodeling area, I think a lot of people were sitting with the pandemic and they were looking around their house and going, "Holy cow, man, this really doesn't look that good. So I can't go on a vacation, might as well invest my money in a staycation," and that's what we did. We were improving houses all over the community and taking anything from a kitchen remodel to bathroom remodels to doing basements. We've added additions. You'd be surprised how much money people spend on vacations, and now all of a sudden they couldn't go on vacation. They were putting that money in something they got a return on. And then at R&B, one of the things that we really tried to do for our customers was give them an array of great financing packages. A lot of uncertainty in the marketplace right now where people weren't sure what tomorrow was going to bring money-wise, financially. So we put together programs where there was no payments till 2022, and now it's 2023. it's whatever we could do to put a program that made sense for the customers to allow them to have the benefits of something today that they want and a future to pay for it as the marketplace and the economy got better.
So how big? I know you're located here, along with us here in Louisville. How big of an area do you cover?
We locally we cover about a 100-mile radius from the 402-41 marketplace, which gets us all the way up to the E-Town area. We're in Frankfurt. We're in Bowling Green. We kind of get everywhere, but we also travel nationally around the U.S. where we do projects in Washington D.C. We've done them in Miami, and we'll send our crews to do specific one-off projects. One of the things that we found is we wanted to be in full control of everything that was going on. People don't understand the definition of quality in a lot of cases. Everybody can say they can do something, but R&B, if we can't keep our hands on it and treat you the way that we want to be treated ourselves and provide you with a product that we can be proud of, we don't want to be part of it.
I completely agree. Now, you just said something about doing jobs in Miami. Vince, can we do that like 6 months a year or something?
We will not be doing that.
We
Well,
go
not
down there,
anytime soon.
Be
Anyway.
warm.
Well, it is
I just want to
definitely
go down there
warm.
for the warmth.
That's true. And the hardest thing is that finding your guys to come back after the problem. It's like,
Right.
And we do some prevailing wage jobs, which are just amazing. That they even offer those anymore for people that don't understand what that is. But it's like a government subsidized program, and you have to pay certain rates. But it's hard to get somebody to come back to reality after they've been on a prevailing wage job. So
I don't think I'm going to blame them there. What are some of the most common remodel jobs that you've been a part of? I know you mentioned basements or additions or things like that, but what kind of things, I guess in a little bit more depth, are you guys doing?
We're doing complete remodels. So when you come in, if you do a kitchen, you do a bathroom, you do a basement, those are all items that you're going to see an enormous escalation in your property value. The paybacks are going to be large. We're also doing where people have, if you look at the property in the marketplace right now in Louisville, there's not a lot of new homes. So if you find a situation where you like the location you're in and you like that area and you kind of like your house, why not make the house the home of your dreams? And we're doing all kinds of remodeling. We're doing things where, if you remember back in the 70s and 80s, all houses were boxed. Everybody had individual rooms. You had your dining room, your living room. We're going in, we're taking out all the walls in the house. We're vaulting the ceilings. We're moving staircases. We're putting in open concepts. We're making that house the home of the person's dreams, that if they were trying to move to a different location, they would pay a lot more money for something, and they still would have to make the changes that they wanted to be able to live.
So how often are that can open up a whole new thought process for me. How often are people out even staying in their house during the remodel process?
I will tell you, it's kind of an interesting scenario. We are, at the R&B team, we try to work around the lifestyles of the customers. We do have doctors and stuff that will do complete remodels for them. They'll go to Florida or something for the winter, and then we'll send them pictures, and they'll come back and their home will be done. But I can't tell you about the number of times that we've done basement remodels, kitchen remodels, and people are living in the house. So, we'll partition everything off so the dust stays in a certain area. We come in and we just had a lady that we did her basement. She just had a brand new baby, and R&B worked around the baby's sleep schedule. So we do the things that are necessary to keep the people. We understand not everybody's in a position to go live in a hotel or have a friend that they can stay in. We do bathrooms, and it's the only bathroom in a person's house.
Right.
So, we have to turn that bathroom, and we don't do what I like to call lipstick on a pig bathrooms that you see advertised all the time, where these people are coming in doing these little enclosures and these things. We gut everything down to the studs. We put the tiles in. We build custom shower pans. We do everything the way to maximize the entire space. And when we finish something, it's worth money, as opposed to something that's just an enclosure that you've gotten from some of these other companies. Again, the lipstick on a pig thing doesn't give you the resale value that you really want in the permanency.
Right. Yeah, I always wondered about that. Where they come in there and just put a cover over the tub, or
if you remember back in the Cabinet Pack days where they would come on, they put a new surface on your kitchen. It's still the same kitchen. It's just got a new look on it, right? The stuff's falling off later. I mean, we use custom. We do our custom cabinets. We build them in our facility. They're solid wood construction. They're all done in a paint booth. They don't scratch off. I mean, everything that we do is the highest quality, because if you do something quality, you only have to pay for it once.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. These cabinets, they soft close. I'm a big fan of soft close.
We're soft close cabinets. You gotta have it.
I don't know why, because like if I get mad at one of my kids, I can't slam it or anything. I slam the fridge door, but those soft close cabinets, I mean, it makes me feel like a king in my house. I love it.
You all do your own countertop work as well?
Well, we have a company that we've been affiliated with for years, and we're like their largest client. So the only thing that we really don't control in the process is we'll come in after we set all the cabinets. They'll do the template. They'll cut the granite or the quartz, and they'll bring it in and set it, and then we'll finish everything up. But at R&B, we handle everything, even the appliances. So we buy the appliances at our discount. We do not mark anything up for our customers, so everybody buys at our price. And then we turn around and give that to you for the exact price that we pay, and 9 times out of 10, it's lower than anybody else can get it.
Sounds like a really good deal. So what about any other part of the interior of the home?
As we talked about just a second ago, with a lot of people redoing some of the walls and changing things. If you remember, you look at some of the older houses and homes that have been around. They don't really flow for families of today. You know, people usually don't eat in the dining room. So when you do the open concept, everybody who's looking for a house, if you go and look at them, they're all open concept. So to be able to take out walls, whether they're structural walls or not, we're able to take those structural walls, insert beams up into the attic, and give you a whole open floor plan where you're not seeing any beams coming across it. You have no obstructive view. Those are the kind of things that you have the capability of doing. A lot of people don't have the skill set to do it, so you want to make sure, last thing you want to do is take out a structural low beam and the snow come and your whole house crunched down. At R&B, we have our engineers, everybody, we do everything the correct way, and you can be assured a lot of times, and most times when we finish a project, it's better than new construction.
Now, are you finding a lot of people that have dining rooms? For example, we remodeled our house a few years back, and we fall right in line with that group that doesn't eat in the dining room. Like, we have the kitchen dining room combo, was really kind of what we did. Do you have a lot of people taking that out, or like expanding that to a living room or a larger kitchen, or what are they really doing with that space?
What's happening is they're taking their dining room and they're actually making it part of the kitchen. And then we're taking down the walls, we're putting in large islands that'll be in there so people can sit around. As everybody can sit back and think, and when they have their people, they have their family and friends over for Thanksgiving, Super Bowl, whatever you want to do, what happens, the kitchen is the place everybody migrates. So you've got your wife, your significant others are all sitting in the kitchen, and they're looking around the corners yelling at people, what's the score of the game, what's going on, what's happening? And we take all those obstacles out of the situation. Everybody wants to be part of the same environment. So when you're part of the same environment, the house flows better, everybody feels better, nobody feels left out, everybody's part of the same team, so to speak. And that's what you're seeing. Everybody is getting away from the little modulars of everybody living in different things. Even in offices today, nobody has cubes in it. Nobody has offices, everybody has cubicles. Everybody's part of the team. Everybody wants to feel like they belong. And I can tell you at R&B, we make you belong.
So what's the process look like? Say, I get home, my wife listens to this and says, hey, I want to remodel our house. And we call R&B, hey, I want to remodel. What happens?
Well, you'll call in. You'll talk to one of our team members. They'll give the lead to one of our specialists, or one of the opportunities to one of our specialists. They'll call, set up a time to meet your needs. We'll come out. We'll give you some ideas. We'll put together a budget together for you. We'll come back within a couple days. We don't have to go out to other people to get pricing. We can do it all in-house. We're able to come in on a Monday, and you're going to have a proposal back in most cases in 48 hours. So you've got the proposal back. You know what your costs are going to be. It's not something that we just are learning about doing. We've done this hundreds of times. So we give you a very precise number. Out of all the proposals that we do, we're going to be either at the number we gave you for the budget, or it's going to be under, because we'll work in an allowances program where we look at your house the way it is now, and we'll kind of give you a scenario of keeping the fixtures and the colors and the finishes all close to the same of what you've got up in the house. You don't want to do an addition, or you don't want to do a remodel and have it substandard to what the rest of your house looks like. If you're going to bring it up, you got to do it where it looks like it was part of the original plan. So we give you the allowances to do all that. We come in, and then once you sign our agreement, we only take a very nominal down payment. We don't ask for any additional monies while the project's going on. And then we give you a timeline, and we start. Most of the time, we're starting within a few weeks after the time of the contract being signed or executed. We go into design phase. You'll sign off on the design. You'll pick your cabinets. The cabinets go into manufacturing. With a week before the cabinets are coming out, if you're doing a kitchen, we start all the demo and everything. So you're down as little bit of time as possible. And at R&B, we like to repurpose. I'm a member of the Salvation Army Board of Directors, so we pull the cabinets out. Somebody else's trash is another person's treasure. We try to reutilize appliances, cabinets, and put them in different places. So we try to get back to the community from, people that are willing to throw stuff away. We try to repurpose it, and then our customers get the tax advantages of doing that.
That is a feel-good moment right there. I like hearing stuff like that, especially local businesses, even today and right now, but even before, before pandemic, after pandemic, it's awesome when you're trying to help your neighbor. I've actually got a question that I know that happened to someone that was extremely close to me, and it kind of goes in along with the line of your proposal. In the event, maybe this has happened to you, or let's look at pandemic only. Let's say that you give your proposal, right, and let's just call it $100 to do whatever it's going to be. Materials over the past year have skyrocketed. How long is our proposals good for, and or what's going to happen if that material skyrockets, and then now we're looking at plus 10% on top of what our given proposal was? How do we handle that?
Well, the good thing about it, when we lock in our proposal, it's all done off of current and modern ratios. So our proposals, 9 out of 10 times, once we present a proposal, the person will execute that proposal at the same time. It's usually a two close call. One time is to come in and get all the information. The second time is to go ahead and execute the agreement. Right after the agreement's executed, then our design team comes in. If we're doing a basement, we tape everything off, we draw everything up, we give everybody what they need. But because of the way and how fast we move, there aren't any issues with that. Our R&B stands behind their proposal, and we don't sit there and nickel dime people. I hate the fact that when you agree to a number, then through the process, somebody's coming back to you and say, hey, it's $8,000 more than what you thought it was going to be. That's not us. We always honor our numbers, and I think if you look at the last 100 deals we've done, we've only been over on, or when I say under budget, twice. One was in a situation where it was a very nice kitchen, and we had given GE appliances as part of the budget. And since we don't mark our appliances up, anybody can pick whatever they want, but they went to one of their friends' house and they ended up getting Sub-Zero and Wolf appliances, and their one refrigerator cost more than 50% of their kitchen. So at the end of the day, can't control that, but they were over, but we passed, did it. And the other thing was on a tile that somebody decided that they needed us to bring in from Italy, and it was something that was a special deal. It wasn't available at Home Depot, but they were over. That's what they wanted to do, and like they told me, the heart wants what the heart wants. So, so we're here to make sure that everything stays in. Once you make a commitment, you can be assured that your number is going to come in at that number or less every time.
So, in that proposal process, what I'm gathering is there is no fees at all until I sign my name on your proposal. Is that?
That is 100% true. We don't charge for our estimating skills. We don't charge for any of that. I think with anything that you do, no matter what kind of business that you're in, if you are not comfortable with the company that you are working with, do not sign the deal. Because I can tell you, if it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. There are people out there that just want to get a deposit. And in R&B, we don't worry about that. Whether it's on the roofing side, if you've got a roofer that's asking you for a deposit, you got the wrong roofer. They need your money to buy materials. Right. And it's kind of like, I tell people all the time, Bernie Madoff started in roofing. They go, Bernie Madoff started in roofing? I go, it's really not true, but roofing's the biggest Ponzi scheme in the world. I have to sell you events to get something else, and then I'm spending your money. Right. I said, at R&B, we don't have to do that. We have our own inventory. and that makes us unique. The same thing with our remodeling stuff. You know, sometimes we don't even get a deposit because they're using one of our financing programs. We don't get paid till the project's done. We always leave our customers with a position where they have 65% worst case control of the project. And if you're in control, your project's going to get done the way you want it to be done.
Now, with the free estimates or the consultations that you guys offer, are you going to come in? You know, you mentioned having the design team that they're going to come in. They're going to give you these options and whatnot. Are there multiple options? For example, let's say if I want my kitchen or my bathroom to look like this, are you guys going to have your design team and kind of lay it out and say it could possibly work out like this, and or give us multiple pricing options on what kind of material, what kind of product we can go back with?
Well, the good thing about it is, again, with the way that we structure our proposal, the first thing we do is we listen to the customer. The customer tells us what they're wanting to do. So whether we're taking out walls in the bathroom, we're sinking a tub, we're putting the fireplace in there, we're just enlarging, pulling out a tub and making a large walk-in shower or a shower that you can push a wheelchair into, whatever it is, those are the way that we structure the deal. So when we come to you with our proposal, it includes everything that you had on your wish list. Now at R&B, we only charge you for what we do, but we build the model based off of what you tell us, and then the ideas that we give you. We don't sit there and give you what I like to call the Cheesecake Factory scenario where there's 1,000 different menu options and everything else. We make the menu options what you want, and that's the important thing. You don't need to be bogged down with all the decisions. We're here to help you, and we make the process extremely easy. But the big thing is when we finish, it's a practical environment for you to live in, and it's also something that you can afford. And we work with you as a team not to sit there and get you outside of it where you're spending more and more money. If you tell us your goal is to be under budget, you come in under budget. We work with you, but at the end of the day, if your wife is in a situation she wants what she wants, the heart wants what the heart wants. All we can do is direct. But
you said that twice now. The heart, that's a odd way to say wife wants what the wife wants.
Well, the interesting thing is this was not a wife that said this. So it was, but at the end of the day, all we want to do is make sure everybody's happy when we walk through.
Sure, completely understand.
The material side of it, I mean, I've dealt with and been involved in several remodeling projects, and I know that even with the kitchen sinks or faucets, and hey, I want this special whatever. I mean, do people go buy their own stuff and bring it to you, or what's that process of going and picking out these little minor fixtures?
Well, the good thing is that you can do it any way you want. We've got customers that we're doing remodels that are several $100,000 for just in the kitchen. And some people like to be hands-on. We got other people that will sit there and go, hey, Scott, our color scheme is going to be gray, white, and black. I would say, okay, so we'll bring the samples to them. They'll pick it out. Everybody is different in this environment. You can make it as difficult. Remodeling can be as difficult as you want or as easy as you want. And the R&B way is to make it easy for you. The biggest thing is at R&B, we want to get in and out. We do not want to be there for Christmas dinner. We do not want to be there for Thanksgiving. We don't want to celebrate the birthdays with you because we're still in the house and you're trying to figure out what's going on. We give you a timeline. We deliver on the timeline. And that's the key thing with anybody that you use. You have to honor what you're telling and respect your customer's time. And
so, and I mean, in that process, do you have a showroom where it says, hey, you come in here and this is typically what we're going to give you? Unless you're wanting something special, just pick, or...
We have a design center that we're opening up right down the street from your all's office at 348 Chamberlain.
All right.
And so we'll have that where you can come in and pick stuff, or we can actually bring it to you. We also have very strong partnerships all over the place with different vendors that our designers work with you. Again, we can make it as easier, or you can be as involved as much as you want, or you don't have to be involved. But at the end of the day, we can assure you one thing: the project that we walk out with when we leave that house is going to be the project of your dreams, and that's what you want. No assumptions.
I know a big question that I've come across. So, if you're the one that's coming out and giving me the proposal, and then do I deal with another guy that's going to be supervising the project, or do I have a supervisor, or who's my go-to man or go-to person? I'm sorry to be sexist, but as it goes.
Good point. Every project that we do, we have a foreman that's on site. He's your point person. Everybody who's in your job will be the same people that you will see all the time. If you talk to some of our clients, I mean, we've got guys that are helping them carry groceries in, walking their dog for them because of there's certain things that have happened. But, we come in, we understand what they need, what they want, and we handle that. Also, R&B is a family business. We've been in the community for a long time. My son-in-law runs all the construction projects for us. He's involved. He'll stop and visit sometimes 10 to 12 different projects a day, overseeing the foremen. He's always available. We're very hands-on. Our biggest thing is our projects are our reputation. Our referral base is important to us. And, a majority of, even though we spend a lot of money advertising, a lot of people know who we are, there's nothing better than referrals. And our referrals come from every customer that we have.
Yeah, that right there is what we here at Absolute Services like to call wow service. We'll going the extra mile, and that's the type of companies and people that we really like to associate ourselves with. Now, I know you mentioned earlier about having proposals turned around in, would you say, 48 hours?
That's correct.
And I know there's going to be a lot of different variables, whether you're doing an addition or whether you're doing, bathroom remodel or kitchen or what's going into it. But what is like an average turnaround time for a project? Again, you can touch on a couple different ones if you want, because I know that they're all going to be different.
Well, we do projects for we finished a kitchen for the director of the FBI locally. We did the police chief, the Doug Hamilton. We did his roofs and we did his kitchen and bathroom remodels. And right after we finished, Doug passed away unexpectedly. But we do projects that are high profile, whatever. At the end of the day, but we want to make sure that everything is perfect. That when we walk through the door, we understand what's going on. Our time frames usually are somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks. But again, we won't start a kitchen until the cabinets are 1 week from coming out of our plant. We don't want to come in and demo your entire facility.
I don't know if people really understand how big that is, because if you've never been in a and I hate to interrupt you on that, but I mean that's huge, because in my younger days I was involved in a lot of projects, and they would get started and then everything gets halted for cabinets and countertops, and where it got promised, it didn't happen. But that is huge to me, that you control that process completely and plan around it.
Yeah, and because here's the thing, the difference between us and everybody else is that we have been blessed to be in a situation financially that we don't have to live off one job. Right. We have lots of jobs. So, when you hire somebody that's not an R&B or somebody of this nature, they live off that one job. They might only have this job and maybe doing something for their wife at home. So every day they're looking for draws. They got to get started right away, because if they're not getting started, they're not making money. Right. With us, we get a minuscule deposit of 35% if you're paying cash, or no money if you're financing. And at the end of the day, we wait for all of our money till the end of the project, or at least 65% of our money. Think about how big that is. You're 100% in control. We want to get in. We want to get out. We want to be out of that project. We want you to be happy. We want to turn it back over to you. I can't tell you the horror stories of people that we've come in and finished. We did a house over off of Flat Rock Road, and they were doing a basement remodel. The guy, it was really 2.5 months into it, all they had done is frame the basement. We came in and finished the basement, did the kitchen, in less time than it took them to order the wood. In and out.
Are you guys finding yourselves doing a lot of takeover jobs and stuff like that?
We the other day I was. It's so sad that, and you all know from being in the business that you're in. At R&B, we don't take advantage of anybody, but there are people out there that do. And we were at a senior community the other day. We walked in to help a guy with the kitchen. When we were walking in, 2 FBI officers were walking out because the company that came in before him had stole his money. Ooh. And he goes, I knew it was too great to be true. This was a fabulous number. But all they wanted was the deposit. I never saw them again. It's like, you don't understand that if it is too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Mm-hmm. And you don't buy stuff. When you go shop something on a price, people will give you the price that you want, and you will get an inferior product and a substandard delivery and have problems that nobody will back up. At R&B, our model is we give you a number that's higher than you're going to pay, and we work down from there. So the worst number you're ever going to see, and it's going to turn out better than that. But don't be fooled by the people that just tell you what you want to do. This is your home. It's your biggest investment. You don't want to be taken advantage of, and nobody can afford to pay somebody for nothing.
And I know you brought up financing several times. So how does that process work? Do I go to my bank and then come back, or wait a month, or explain that process?
Vince, that's a good point. I mean, the financing that we have in place are signature notes. We do soft pulls on your credit. We approve you off of a soft pull. Excuse me. We can do up to 15 years. We can go 24 months. We can have deferred payments. Pretty much any kind of program that you want, we can devise. And it's like you're answering 6 or 7 questions while we're sitting there. We don't get any of your personal that's stated income. There's no lien on the property. I can't stress how important that is. I can't tell you how many bank vice presidents and people that are very affluent have used our financing rather than pay cash for something. Think through it. When the market crashed and all this pandemic stuff started, we were doing a kitchen for a lady, and she was going to take money out of her 401k. I told her, I said, use our financing. She goes, I don't like to finance, Scott. I'm part of this Dave Ramsey world. I don't want to finance. I said, just do me a favor. Sign up for this. You can always pay cash at the end. And by the time she got done and we finished the project, her portfolio had went up where her kitchen only cost her about $18,000 in the growth from where she would have sold her investment to where it was when we finished. I mean, be smart out there. Just because you don't want to buy on credit doesn't mean you have to use the credit. You're just using the credit to get the project done and then paying for it later when your money's worth a lot more.
So can I just write you an $18,000 check for my kitchen and we'll call it good?
Yeah. Well, sure, as long as you finance the other part of it. I like that, Vince. I like how you think.
You might have one of those deposit not come back type of things on something like that.
Hey, I told you we have payment plans to meet everyone's needs. So 15 years, we can do whatever.
And you talked earlier, about really kind of like inferior product, too good to be true, different types of things like that. So when it comes to materials, is there a certain type of material that you want to go with, something you want to stay away from? So are you guys picking like the all right stuff, the good stuff, the best stuff, and how do you really handle that process?
Well, at R&B, we only do what we would do for ourselves. If I wouldn't do it and put it in my home, I'm definitely not going to put it in your home. A lot of times, we don't use substandard products. We don't do the lipstick on the pig stuff. We do everything that's the highest quality, and because of the volume that we do and the number of kitchens that we do and the buying power that we have for our customers, we're able to give you stuff that you would be paying for an inferior product for the best. And what we like to pride ourselves on is that when we give you a proposal, if you finish that proposal and you have that proposal finished and you have the bank come in and do an appraisal, you will see automatically growth from what you paid from that project to what the bank appraised your house at. And it happens all the time. If you go to a bank and you give somebody at a bank a $25,000 number, the bank's going to give you a percentage of that $25. If you use our financing, we finish that $25,000 project, the bank's going to come in, they might give you $35,000 for the same project in value, because there's no idea what you paid for it, they're just seeing what it's worth. Right. And at R&B, we give you something that's really worth money, not something that's not.
Outstanding. So if I decide, like, what about room additions versus interior and exterior? I mean, do you all do very many additions? I know, like, my wife one time, or recently, I guess, wanted a sunroom added to the back of our house. But how does that process work, or what is it?
Additions and finished space, obviously, if you can take a space within your house and you can, make it usable space like a basement, it's a lot less expensive to do that than it is to add square footage. Mm-hmm. When you add square footage, like if you have a deck outside and we want to enclose that deck, make it into a sunroom, make it into what I call a Four Seasons type room, where it's got air conditioning, it's got heating and everything, so it becomes viable physical space within your structure. Those usually are more expensive to do than they are to do something that's already inside the house. Right. But we do, we just finished a house in Crestwood where we did a 2,800 square foot addition to a house that was originally 1,000 square feet. So we made the whole house was over 3,000 square feet. We put a swimming pool in the backyard, everything else. But this person was making it their forever house. Right. They loved the lot. They loved the location. Again, it doesn't matter. What matters is if you love the location you're at, you can't find the house, you might as well take the house that you've got now if you've got the land and you've got the space to make it the home of your dream.
So what do you do about HGTV and Chip and Joanna? Or is that their names?
We like to deal with Mike Holmes because
Yeah.
Mike Holmes endorses us. So,
All right.
yeah.
So, there's quite the unavailability of items that I see when my wife's watching these shows, and I'm thinking, man, that's got to be a nightmare for somebody like you that's remodeling and them, introducing materials and items that probably aren't the easiest to find.
Well, the materials aren't as big of a deal as is the false expectation of what things cost.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's like
Yeah.
they remodel a 4,000 square foot house and they go, the cost is $63,000, and they got your whole kitchen and everything's all great. And I'm going like, holy cow, you can't even buy the cabinets for that.
Right.
But they're getting people giving them stuff, so it's totally such a false expectation. I can't believe how many times people come in and go, well, I saw on TV I could do this whole house. It's twice as big as me for this. And I go, it's not real. And, it's kind of like the house flippers too. They're flipping the house and they're going, we just made $142,000 on this flip. Never happens. They never show the house being sold, but it's all illusion. It's great. These shows have been really great for our business to show you all the different kinds of things you can do and make people think outside the box. But they really got to step back and do the reality situation because you can't do them for the price they're talking about on TV.
Right.
Well, and not only that, but I have never gotten on there, and I'm never going to talk bad about anybody's career choice or however they went down the road. But it's always these people getting these $400,000 and $500,000 houses, and the husband's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a beekeeper," and the wife's a professional Instagram scroller or something. And you're
I
like,
was going to say that.
"You guys do? How do y'all make $500,000?"
Yeah.
And you got 2 beehives and you scroll Facebook all day. Like, how do you?
Yeah, they got a household income of $75,000.
Well, they're growing something in the backyard, but it has nothing to do with bees. It's terrible.
100,000 household income and $2.4 million budget.
Yeah, where'd that come from? I don't know. But it's true. I look for those $2.4 million budgets, but I haven't really found any lately. We like to stretch that dollar.
Go
and
to
give you what
Texas.
you want.
That's where you see them all the time.
Well, everything's big in Texas, but and this is the good thing about Louisville and being a company from Louisville. We take pride in making Louisville the best city in the world. When you can turn around and you can change the atmosphere, the presence of the cities and the streets that you live in and the people, it really means a lot to us. We like giving back to the city, but there is nothing more exciting than finishing a project for somebody, whether it's $10,000 or whether it's $1 million, and seeing a smile on somebody's face and making a difference in somebody's life. And you can't say any more than that. I think that's the beauty of being in the remodeling business, is when you really care heart and soul about it, you care about your customers, to see that smile and seeing the difference it makes in somebody's life says it all. That's worth more than the check that they write you at the end of the job.
I don't think that either one of us will disagree. That is absolutely 100% accurate. But so, we've talked about a lot, additions and kitchen remodels and stuff like that. Are there any other exterior things that you guys do or that you can do that would help out homeowners or add value?
We do siding. We have a product that's so unique in the marketplace. It's called Select Siding. It's a lot better product than Hardy Board, which is a fast cement fiber board. Mm-hmm. It never has to be painted. It's got a 50-year warranty. Doesn't have any seams on it. We've been doing those all over the city. We also do the windows. We do the siding. We do gutters. When we do gutters, we bring machines right to your house. We run them off. They're seamless with mitered corners. They'll never leak. Lifetime warranties on everything that we do. There's a lot of ways to do things cheap, and there's a lot of ways to keep doing cheap things over and over. Or there's one way to do it right, and that's the R&B way, and you'll only have to do it one time.
What is that siding made of? I never heard of that siding.
Oh, it's a composite. Mm-hmm. We actually have it over at the design center, but it is the best product that's on the market. The colors are color fast. You can pick the color that you want. Never fades, never does. They interlock to each other, so there's no seams like you see.
So is it a heavy material?
It's very light.
Okay.
But it adds an R factor to the house. You can throw baseballs at it. You can't even put a nick in it. It's probably the most highly rated fiber product. It's not even a fiber product, but it's siding product. And we do everything from the Select Siding all the way down to the vinyl products. Mm-hmm. So we can we can change the entire appearance of a house by just changing the siding, the exterior, putting some design features on it, wrapping the metals, and putting new gutters and a roof on it. It will change the entire value of your home and the appearance of your house. Everything's curb appeal in this day and time.
Now, what's the cost difference look between a select siding versus a vinyl siding?
It's like metal roofs and shingle roofs. They're basically it's about 2 times higher, but you're never going to have to deal with it. You're never going to have to touch it. The value that you put in when you do it on your home, you'll see an incremental value of that. You'll never have any issues. It won't get termites. It won't do anything with it. You'll never have to paint again. So you have to run a lot of the long-term ramifications of when you do something. You can put hardy board on, but then you got to paint it every 4 or 5 years. How much does that painting cost? How much does it cost to do the seals? You can make an investment one time, or you can make it over and over throughout your lifetime.
Is that I'm assuming since it's a composite material that color is like all the way through that material.
Oh yeah, you can't
so,
hurt it.
Yeah, you can't chip it or any of that.
I mean, it's a super product. We've got it over at the design center. It really looks nice.
One more question I had, and we kind of went back to the Chip and Joanna deal, because we recently did a small project in our house, and so my wife wanted barn wood and barn metal, and it was all repurposed stuff. How do you go about that? That scenario, because I mean, it took us longer to find that than it did to do the whole project.
On the reclaimed wood and the barn woods and things of that nature, there are actually now products that look like they've been aged and they've been beat and they've been textured and everything else that you can buy from manufacturers. So there's people that have new products that are built to be old. Right. Also, you can go into specific areas where you'll see old barns on properties where people are just dying and they're about to fall down, and they will actually pay you to remove the stuff. So right. You can get the wood. But you really don't have to go that far. You're bringing Insight 6 into your house. You're bringing other things. A lot of times, the more modern applications that you can get the refurbished and the rebuilt look as if it's that, but it's all new products with warranties on it. You couldn't tell the difference. It's amazing now what they're able to do.
Now, with your customers and now here with us, one thing that we really believe in is customer reviews and referrals. You touched on that earlier. Can we find those on your website?
Oh yeah, definitely. We have reviews everyone from the BBB site all the way to Google to HomeAdvisor. We were HomeAdvisor. Supplier of the year, both 18, 19, 20, and 21. We're their number one contractor in the marketplace, and like I said, we live and breathe off of supply, off of references and referrals. But you got to understand, guys, you all are in the business too. Can you make every citizen in this world happy? We pride ourselves in trying to bend over backwards for people, but sometimes there are people that just can't. It seems like they only get unhappy when it's time to pay.
Yeah, I would say probably between the combination of what we do and what you do, or what your company does, we probably dominate that entire thing. Because I mean, we're one of the dominant players, and we stress to our guys every day to provide 5-star service and ask for the 5-star review at the end of the job.
And so do we. It's kind of funny. Like in our business, everybody checks us out to the hill. Right. They're checking Google, they're checking HomeAdvisor, they're checking BBB. But we don't have a customer site that lets us check anybody else out. Right. We're extending credit to people sometimes that can't afford to buy a pencil, and we don't know because they're checking us out, but we're doing what needs to be done. I think we need to have a customer BBB that we can kind of do.
Well, I mean, they do it with, renting. You can go check the rental history or different things like that. But, and you mentioned it earlier, as far as those companies that are coming in and just taking advantage of people and just not doing very well or just being awful. I don't want to say too many bad words about it. I've seen them. I've dealt with them. And then just, coming in and providing that type of service and gaining all these reviews and trying to earn the respect of the community and stuff, it's a big hurdle to overcome. And we're under a scope, constantly.
And the other thing is anybody on Google, I can't tell you how many reviews we get posted about us that are competition. Some of the thing with the BBB reviews and also the HomeAdvisor reviews, they're validated. Google reviews are great reviews and stuff like that. And I'm not saying anything bad about them because we have several of them that are great. But anybody can post them and they're not even validated. You know what I mean? So I think that reviews are great and we have fabulous reviews. But I believe that if you go and you look somebody in the eye and they're going to deliver for you, same thing like when we select a customer to work with. There's some customers we may not want to work with. There's some people that could not want to work with us. But at the end of the day, you want to pick somebody that you know is going to deliver on everything that they say they're going to do, and we do. I
completely agree. Completely agree.
Well, that's answered the majority of my questions for today. I don't want to get too deep because then my wife will have Scott out there at the house.
That's what we do need. Everybody out there listening, give us a call. We definitely are busy, but we're never busy enough.
Right, I completely understand that.
I actually do have one last question, and I know we touched on the turnaround of the proposals. One thing we haven't touched on is if I call you today to come out and say, hey, we need to talk about my kitchen remodel, how long does it take for you to actually get there to start the process?
Within 24 hours, as long as it's even on weekends. But we get calls even Sunday night or something. You'll get a call the next business day. The appointment will be set as quickly as we can get in, depending on your schedule and availability. We'll come. Again, we might even on the roofing side of our business. We're so unique in the roofing thing that we'll have a roofing contract signed at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, and that roof's going on 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. I mean, we put stuff on within 48 hours of somebody saying go. And we're the only people in the marketplace that can do that because we have our own inventory. When people, again, we talked about earlier, when people make a decision to do something, they want it. I don't want to wait 90 days or 88 days or 10 days to get it. At R&B, we want to make your dreams a reality, and that starts today.
You want what you want it now.
That's right. The heart wants what the heart wants.
All right, Scott, well, I really appreciate you coming by. I think we're going to probably end up having to do a lot, or not having to, but wanting to do a lot of business with you and your company, and we can probably do, and for mutual customers. So I'm sure we already do a lot of mutual customer work, if I had to guess, because we're dealing in the same area, and of course, your new office is going to be right down the street from our current office. So.
We ride by you every day. We can always stop and talk. That's the way it works.
Yeah, we usually have several trucks parked out there. We like to advertise that. So, you got anything else, James? Or
I'm gonna let Scott let us know how does someone get in touch with R&B.
The easiest thing to do is you can call us at 502-442-0811, or you can check out our website at gottabernb.com, GOTTABERANDB.com. And just remember the jingle. R&B's here for you. Thank you. How that worked? That's amazing. That was perfect timing.
High tech right there.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. Look forward to working with everybody out there.
Okay, thank you.